Well, last time was really annoying, but all we can do is keep going, right? Welcome back. We're still in Italy, and today we take on the Nations League once again, a competition where I have failed to progress from the group stage twice in this save, so let's make it a hat-trick, shall we? And as well as that, we've also got qualification for the World Cup, which is something Italy have failed to do once already in the save, so can we make it twice? Now, we have made some changes to the squad for this one, the main one being I have dropped Leandro Bruscia after his disgraceful performance against England at the Euros last time. He can sit this one out and think about what he's done. I call up Pietro Manca of Lazio instead, who is really good apart from his 11 finishing, which is sort of Shane Long levels, but we'll give him a go. I've also called up one of my favourite FM players in Emmanuel Vignato, and apparently this is one of the most humiliating climb downs of recent times for some reason. I genuinely have no idea what they're talking about, and clearly they've never seen that video of Donald Trump walking down a ramp. Now we have Russia up first, and they obviously did cause us problems the last time we played them, so let's hope for a better performance. And this is in fact my 100th match in charge as a manager in the save, or that doesn't actually count the games with the Mexican under-23s for some reason, so we want to see a good performance. We need to continue the unexpected momentum of the Euros, and we get off to an incredible start as we work a short free kick, and Nicolo Barrea, restored to the side, fires home. And he's involved again, teeing up Pietro Manca for a goal on his debut. In the second half, another good move finds Federico Chiesa for a third, and that might be the most stress-free game we've had for a while. Probably should have played Barrea in the semi-finals of the Euros based on that. In fact, he was so good, the game literally can't think of any alternative. Next up are Holland, who after their embarrassing group stage exit of the Euros have already lost to Serbia here, and nothing really happens. There's a few mild chances, but it's a dull 0-0. For the October games, Bruscia gets a recall and a reprieve. We play Serbia, who have won their first two games, so we need a good result here. The first half is a snooze fest, and in the second half, Serbia are the only team to look like scoring, which they do, as Sergej Milinkovic-Savic crosses for Sasa Lukic to score. Absolutely awful. Bruscia was a disgrace once again, and there's no third chances. He'll never play for Italy again while I'm manager. Serbia go 5 points clear at the top of the group, so getting to the semi-finals now seems unlikely. The second game versus Russia starts off much like the first. An exquisite ball by Orlandini is well struck by Zaniolo for the lead. Not long after, Salah puts in a great cross from the left, and Orlandini heads in a second, and then he whips in another great ball into the box for Chiesa to make it 3. We should make it about 7 in the second half, but it ends 3-0, and crucially, Holland beats Serbia, meaning we go into the final matches in November still with a chance. For the November games, I go with Pietro Pellegrini instead as a striker. That really is our problem position. We have to beat Serbia, it's that simple. Salah is injured as well, so that's not going to help. 15 minutes in, a throw-in on the right finds Pellegrini, who sets up Zaniolo to smash home an opener. We ride our luck and Serbia go close, so I drop the line back. A second would be ideal, and then Chiesa stretches the Serbian defence. Calafiori slides in Pietro Pellegrini for a debut goal. At 2-0 we're in control, although we'd still do everything possible to throw it away, but we hold on for an essential 3 points. It sets up a final game cracker with Holland. Win and we go through, lose and we're out. Draw and, well, it depends on what Serbia do. Sandro Tonali is unfortunately suspended, but otherwise we are good to go. All we need to do is beat an underperforming Holland side at home. What can possibly go wrong? We dominate the first half once again, multiple chances for us, multiple chances missed for us, and you know how this is going to go. Every single player is having a terrible game. We've been here before. More wasted chances in the second half, and oh look, here come Holland. Justin Kluivert running through our apparently non-existent defence. It's pulled back to who I assume is Ian Robben's son to score. We go in search of an equaliser, we don't get one, we lose. Absolutely awful once again. Every time I think we're getting somewhere with this team, they find new ways to just infuriate me. I'll tell you what, based on this, I think whatever happens at the World Cup, I'm probably going to be leaving. Just get me away from these choking failures. But we have to actually reach the World Cup first. Our group is, on paper, ridiculously easy. Poland are the only team who are remotely a threat, and even then we should beat them. Please ignore a few episodes ago when we lost to Poland though. I'm also hoping this campaign will finally resolve our striker issues. My brain says that Leandro Bruscia should be restored and given another chance. He does look really good, but my heart says no based on his poor performances. I'll tell you what, we'll make a deal. If he scores 25 goals this season, I'll pick him. We go away to Poland first, so at least we'll get the first defeat done nice and early. In the revolving door of strikers, I go with Sebastiano Esposito up front as he's developed quite a bit, as has Carlo Volpes, who will start alongside Bastoni in defence as he looks really good and his AC Milan side have only lost once all season. We last 7 minutes. A simple cross from the right sees this man score. Gianluigi Donnarumma won the World Golden Glove in December. I'm not entirely sure how. Orlandini then does his usual and wins a penalty though, which Barrea dispatches. Orlandini always hates playing out of position. He says it every single game, but he still plays really well on the right hand side. Zaniolo finds him and he heads us into the lead before Zaniolo gets some service of his own from Esposito to make it 3. See, we can do it when we feel like it. A dominant display in the end, and the trickiest game ends in 3 points. Georgia are an altogether more straightforward prospect. Barrea opens the scoring with a sweeping strike and we end up with 4 as Bastoni, Zaniolo and most pleasingly Esposito score. In June we have Malta and Azerbaijan. Now I said I wouldn't pick Brusio until he scored 25 goals and he didn't, he got 21. Do we pick him again? Do we give him another chance? I mean, I'm still starting Esposito whatever happens. I could call up Marco de Gracca here, who's got 33 goals and 37 for Anderlecht. That's quite impressive. But Pietro Pellegrini still has a higher goals to game ratio, so he stays for now. Anyway, Malta goes shockingly well. Chiesa scores in the 2nd minute, and then Zaniolo makes it 2 4 minutes later. I mean, I know it's Malta, but it's actually refreshing to see us actually scoring goals. We're 6-0 up at half time. Zaniolo has a hat-trick already. Orlandini completes his hat-trick in the 84th minute as we win 10-0. I mean, why can't every game be like this? He's got a 10 rating for goodness sake, and so did Tonali. Despite us scoring 10 though, Esposito didn't actually manage to score a single one. I don't remember even seeing him do anything all game. Maybe we should just not bother with a striker. And apparently that is Italy's biggest win in history as well, and yet we couldn't even score 1 goal past Holland or England. And that win also sees Gianluigi Donnarumma surpass Leandro Bonucci to become Italy's most capped player ever. He's 30, so he's still got another 15 years left. It also seems to have actually woken some kind of actual ruthlessness in them, as against Azerbaijan we score all 3 of our first shots on target. First Chiesa, then Zaniolo with this excellent finish, and then this brilliant free kick from Orlandini. Barrea adds a 4 from the spot and we run out for a very simple win. I'm not really used to this with this team. We've won 4 games in a row and we haven't dropped a single point yet. For the September games, the main news is I've finally relented and have given Brusio a 3rd chance. It's disgraceful, I know, it pains me to do so, but Esposito's lack of goals in any of the 14 we scored in the last 2 games, coupled with Brusio having moved to Real Madrid and scored 4 in the first 2 La Liga games of the season, means I can't really ignore him anymore. I'm even going to start him against Poland, and I know full well I'm going to regret this. Or maybe not, as he's involved at least, as we put together a beautiful flowing move, which ends with a perfect finish once again from Orlandini. And then 16 minutes later, Brusio gets a chance. He shoots straight at the defender, but he keeps his composure to slot home the rebound. It's 2-0 and our striker actually scored. Volpes heads in a free kick just before the break as well, as we are well in control. In the second half we win a penalty, which Eddie Salcido converts for his first goal for Italy, and then we win another penalty and Salcido bags his 2nd goal as well, before Castrovelli hits a typical long range banger for 6, and we win 6-0 against Poland. I guess this shows the progression really. Bulgaria are 2nd in the group, and if we can maintain our form and beat them, we'll be in a very strong position for qualification. And we get off to a great start as Zaniolo's effort is blocked out, but Brusio pops up for his 2nd goal of the episode. Unbelievable scenes. Orlandini scores yet another tap in before Bastoni heads in a 3rd for another win. We're 7 points clear with 4 games to go. If we win the next 2 matches, we'll be done with 2 games to spare. We get another penalty in the 4th minute, which Barrea scores, and then Orlandini scores yet another goal for 2. He's honestly the best player in the squad at this point, whether he's playing in his natural position or not. I mean, look at this pass for the 3rd goal here. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and then he bangs in this free kick in injury time for a hat-trick. Outstanding. If we can beat Azerbaijan, we've safely qualified. And we get another great start as we get another penalty for no apparent reason whatsoever. Barrea scores once again. This won't happen at the World Cup, you just know it. We're never going to get this kind of luck again. Zaniolo and Orlandini add to the lead before Esposito slots home a 4th, and it's another great day at the office. Certainly an emphatic win, an emphatic campaign as well, which, considering, as said, Italy failed to qualify for the World Cup in 2018 and 2022 in this universe, is pretty good. The last 2 matches are a formality, but we win them both in style, smashing 8 past Malta and then beating Bulgaria 2-0, meaning we win the group with maximum points and with only 2 goals conceded. The World Cup is going to be held in Spain, so not too far for us to travel. The big casualties of qualifying are Germany, as finally not having any real players catches up with them, and Belgium, who also failed to qualify. When the groups are eventually drawn, we get Canada and Mali, which seems quite reasonable, but the Italian FA do expect the semi-finals at a minimum. I mean, that's certainly doable, right? It's certainly possible. We'll certainly give it a go, and you know, it's been really good qualification, and we're not going to win, are we? There's no way we're going to win. Something horrific is going to happen. You all just absolutely know it. Well, I guess we'll find out next time.